Welcome back chess fans. In this video, the London system with black. But first, let's listen to Magnus Carlsen. What does he say about the London system?
Another CM. Oh, he's streaming. Well, you should probably check out his stream then. I'm sure it's more entertaining than this. Okay. Fairly fast play from my opponent. So this is called the London system. The London system. I think most people know that. Even those, it's a notorious system. So even those who have barely played chess, they probably seen it on TikTok or something.
Maybe. I like the London system. I totally get why people don't like the London system. It's really can be frustrating that people can set up the same way as white every time and in a reasonable position regardless of how you play it as black. But the London system is much richer than people think.
Alright, definitely Magnus is a fan. But what are IMs like Rosen or GMs like Naroditsky recommend against the London? Let's listen.
Balanced ways to play, but there is one system that I recommend to everyone who wishes to make London system players uncomfortable and who wants to get a dynamic, unbalanced, and relatively speaking non-theoretical game. And all of this starts with the move c5. And this is the most combative response against the London for obvious reasons. We're immediately challenging white center. This isn't really a pawn sacrifice. We'll do a little theoretical examination after the game. And I will say, as a disclaimer, I'm not too proficient in the theory of the system. In OTB games against good players, I've mostly played the King's Indian setup, but I really like c5 and rapid and blitz. If white takes on c5, typically black plays knight a6 and immediately is able to reclaim the pawn with interest. White plays one of several possible moves, which is, of course, e3. And now you can play d5, which transposes into what we can call the main line, the most popular continuation. But the way to deviate from mainstream theory is to quickly position our queen on b6. And we can do it immediately, but I like first taking on d4, creating a pawn structure imbalance. This creates an imbalance because it leads to a situation where white has a 3-on-2 on the queen side, and black actually has, I don't say this very often, a 5-on-4 in the center and on the king side. Pawn structure imbalances create dynamic play. They create the possibility for tactics, and this is already a step forward when you're dealing with a London system player. And now we position our queen on b6. Now, if you've seen London games, whatever you play with black against it, you've probably seen the queen come out to this square in the London system. It's a very typical development of the queen because on b6 it does a lot of things. It's out of the way of the other pieces. But most importantly, it's pressuring two pawns at once. And this is, as primitive as this sounds, a drawback of the London system. When the bishop comes out this early...
From the initial opening, black played kind of this nice sort of anti-London setup with the early queen b6 and bishop f5, and got kind of this nice middle game bind, and then found the really nice positional maneuver to create initial problems on the queen side, and then went for the very aesthetic pawn push to b4, and then the piece sacrifice to destroy white. So again, for people that maybe want some inspiration of how to take down the London opening, I hope this is just one game you can add to your toolbox of ways to fight against the London.
And now comes really the heart of this video. What do I recommend to play with black against the London system using a brand new setup? What we're gonna see next is Bortnyk playing with the white pieces against GM Minh, and we'll explain how does Minh with black achieve the decisive advantage with the black pieces. Let's go.
set the pace, 'cause I'm not thinking straight. My head's spinning around, I can't see clear no more. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do, love me like you do, like you do. Love me like you do, love me like you do, yeah. Touch me like you do, touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do, love me like you do, like you do. Love me like you do, love me like you do. Touch me like you do, touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? Nager dans les eaux troubles des lendemains.
Before we go to the game, a few words about Wonderful Time, also called as Tuan Minh. He's from Vietnam. Look at the statistics. Blitz 3156, Bullet 3173, Rapid 2708. And if you look on the left, he won Title Tuesday in August 2025 with 12.5 points out of 11. And he won against Magnus Carlsen, Sindarov, Grishuk, Masodlu, and Jeffrey Young. What a performance! Let's now see how to play the London system with black. Here we go. Minh plays d6, and then he goes for g6, like the King's Indian defense. Alright? You will know this is exactly what the London system player wants to do with the white pieces. And now we have bishop b7. We have the two bishop system right here. Bishop e2. And now c5 is played in the game. I will also recommend knight bd7, castle, and knight e4 with similar ideas. But c4 is played, and then we continue the game. And this is a very classic formation for both sides. Queen b3 here, queen b8. Now rook ac1. What is the plan for black, right? And here, the key idea, queen a8. Look at that. We saw that during the broadcast. We're threatening to take on g2 potentially, the knight on f3, and most importantly, we control e4. So this is very important to see the battery. Queen a2, rook f e8, queen b1, h6. So Bortnyk doesn't know what to do, and he repeats here. Are we gonna repeat ourselves? No. Bishop c6. What is the next idea? We want to play b5. Rook e d1, queen b7, knight e1, and then b5. We have the break. Now obviously, if what we take, and then play rook e8, and we control the e5, followed by b4. So Bortnyk closes down. We're happy to close, and now this is very annoying. The knight cannot come here because we're threatening g2. So of course, white goes for the exchange of the light square bishop. Okay, what's next? e5. We want to push. We have the rook. We can play e4. The bishop here is not very helpful, and we have locked down the queen side. Alright, attacking d6, rook e6, takes, knight f1. Alright, what we want to do, that bishop here is not doing anything. Bishop f8, threaten the queen, and the queen moves back. Now, this is very important. The next move is knight e4. But the key idea is that we do knight e4, and then knight d6 or knight c5, and then knight g3. The knight can go anywhere and there's no stopping. So actually, this is what happened in the game. Let's see that. We go back on c5, and now we have a monster knight on d3. Super nice knight. How can you get rid of that? You can. And we're doubling up, and we have the knights protecting each other. b4, knight e4, white is shuffling, and now we go f5. Look at this pawn structure. We are dominating, and white is passive on the first, second, and third rank. It's a dream position. We do that. And look at this knight here. If you ever take it, I'm going to take back with the e pawn or the c pawn, win eventually c3, and this is total domination. Let's go back, h5, h4. Now we are setting up for the kill. What is the kill here? Our knight on d3 is really a fortress. We can push here and finish it off. That's what happened in the game. Take, queen f3. And now what do? Well, we could potentially play h3, but rook g6 threaten to finish off on g2. Bishop g3, we take. And now the flourish. We have this monster knight here. We have these rooks. We have the queen infiltrated, and a quiet move. In a bullet game, bishop e5. What a move, and then there's not much to do, and Bortnyk resigns or loses on time. So what's the idea here? What can happen? Well, if you play knight f4, I'm gonna checkmate you like that, right? So strong. If you take on d3, what is the idea? I do a check, and now check. And because of the bishop on e5 and the king, it's checkmate. So again, bishop e5. Look at this power from the black pieces. Every piece is an ideal square. White is passive on the second rank. So this was a fantastic display. Remember this setup, queen and bishops looking over here, and then we have a super healthy pawn structure. The rook are here. You can remember this position. It's absolutely the way to play against the London system. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.